I had to figure out how to run a business that makes $500,000 a year on repeat and still be present.
The more skilled you get, the more you value yourself. I think it's because the real estate industry as a whole, there's this kind of like bad name around it. I'm here with the beautiful and amazing Jessica. You're an inspiration to me and to many women. You're absolutely crushing it in your real estate career. You're a skilled closer. I love my women that are closer. And your mom. And I just think you're amazing. So I want you to tell women that are in real estate and that feel like they can't be successful because they have kids or because they're women.
Yeah.
Tell us about your story.
I appreciate you, girl. So first of all, you were so young and so powerful and you never let anything stop you, which it sometimes reminds me, because as women, don't we often take, I don't know if you ever feel this way, but it's like we have to wait for our chance to speak. Let's mind our business. And I see you and you're like, no, my voice needs to be heard. My voice helps and I'm here to serve. And like you being so young and so powerful reminds me sometimes, like, girl, why are you hiding this gift? Get out there. So thank you for that.
So are you. You're amazing. And I think we were just talking, just girl chat. We're both successful in our field and we have a lot of masculine energy and we love sales and we love closing. And that's hard to come by a lot of times. But I think because we are women, it makes us better.
100%. So I once heard Daniel G., the sales trainer, say that there's 2 L's for women. And the first is leading like a man. And the second, I forget what the second part is to close. And if you do, like, his whole philosophy is that what you want in a man, like in your male partner, if you do that in a business setting, you're going to dominate. And so I was like, let me think about what I want. I don't want my boyfriend to take me to Applebee's. I want to go to Mastro's. I don't want you to buy me a Coach bag. I want a Chanel bag. Not because I'm motivated by material things, but because the way you treat me and the way you value me, it shows how, the amount of value that you feel I have in your life. So I started thinking about, like, what do I want in a man? I want X, Y, and Z. Now I'm going to do that in a business setting.
Oh, I love that.
I'm going to lead everybody. And I really do. Like in a transaction, I tell everybody how it's going to go, why it's going to go that way, and what to expect. And they're like at ease, they start feeling comfortable, which is the same as when your man tells you, honey, we're going to go out to eat tonight. This is where we're going. If you want to wear this, like, you feel at ease, right?
Mm-hmm.
What's more annoying than a man being like, well, what do you feel like?
Oh, I would never date a man that's like that.
Right. Exactly.
We want men to take control. You're a mom too. So you need to have a little bit of ego because you're a badass. Tell us about your career as a real estate agent, because you have an incredible track record. So I want you to hype yourself up because I don't think women do it enough.
Thank you. The thing I'm the most proud of, and I think you're going to be there in a few years, is doing both. And I don't often think that people really recognize how amazing that is about me, because generally, like, I'm outperforming men in terms of my numbers, or not just men, but like a lot of people. And then I'm also raising 2 humans to be amazing, like, attributes to the world, to, they're going to do many things that are wonderful for the community. And I'm doing both at the same time.
On your own. Yeah. Right. Because for people that don't know your background, you're a single mom.
Yeah, I hate that term. I think a more empowering term is a single income household.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, because that's truly what I am. I am one person supporting 5 mouths, and I'm also making sure they get to practice on time, to church on time, all the places they go. And, if someone's watching this, or if you have girlfriends in that position, I want them to be inspired by me to say, like, they don't have to live a lesser life, or they don't have to apologize, or they don't have to take on this stereotype of a single mom. You're a single income household. You're a single income head of your household. You're the leader. Without you, there is no source. And I think that is a lot to be proud of if you're currently doing that.
Yeah. Oh yeah, absolutely. And you've been able to not just sustain your household, but provide yourself the life that you want and you feel you deserve.
Yeah.
Right? Because a lot of times we feel too circumstances, right? Whether it's we have kids or life has kind of thrown us things that are unfortunate. Now we have to take less and we have to be okay with that. And I think you've proven to me and a lot of people that you don't have to. The parent thing, to be fully transparent with you, I have so many things that I'm doing right now and I'm really passionate about my business, but I don't have kids.
Yeah.
And like, I don't know how you have the time because just my business consumes a whole, chunk of my life. How do you do both?
There's this word, I love it. It's my favorite word, resourceful. You become so resourceful. Like Erin said, you either make the way or find the way. When you have kids, that it powers you to do things you never thought you could do. So something that is really important to me is to be a present parent. Like, I don't miss games. I don't miss awards. I want to be there for them and know I want them to always look out in the crowd and see my face. So I had to figure out how to run a business that makes $500,000 a year on repeat and still be present. And that caused me to innovate. I was probably the first agent that ever did a Zoom listing presentation. I'd love to pretend that I'm a genius or some guru. Truthfully, Haley had a softball game. Do you know Haley?
Yeah.
Yeah. So Haley was playing in, I want to say it was Oklahoma. And a seller called me and they were like, we're ready to sell. You've been calling us about our house for months and we had to do renovations. We're ready now. And I didn't want to admit I'm somewhere else. I'm doing this, that, and the other thing. So just being resourceful, I pretended that my whole process was you had to go through a screening on Zoom. I just thought of this, ladies and gentlemen, I just made it up right there on the spot. And so I'm in the hotel room. Haley's getting ready for her game, and I'm doing a listing presentation on Zoom, which concluded in me sending them a DocuSign shortly thereafter, or actually my assistant sent it, and them signing a listing agreement with me never seeing the house in person, never meeting them in person. And actually, I don't think I even ever saw that home ever. My sign, I also figured out how to do everything remotely to where I don't physically go in person to most listings.
Yeah. And that's really hard to do. You're talking about it like it's 1, 2, 3. But the situation of just having to be with her made you resourceful because you weren't going to let go of that listing opportunity.
Yeah.
And then something was created, a business, and now you teach people how to do exactly that. You taught me how to do that. So sometimes there's people that come across your path and they open up your mind and your perspective, and you're one of them. The reason why I look up to you so much is because I'm transitioning into this stage of life where I want to be a mom, and being resourceful is something that is really important for me because I want to be a present parent, but I also don't want to feel like I have to give up my dreams, my career, because I love my career and I love what I do. So I just think it's about doing things differently. And now you're crushing and doing Zoom listing appointments. Now you taught me to do Zoom listing appointments. You're teaching others to do the same. It's crazy, right?
What's that saying? Something is the mother of invention. There's a saying.
I know what you're talking about. I just can't remember. I hate trying to remember a saying and then it came.
Yeah.
And then in 5 minutes, we're going to be like, this was it. I remember it.
But that's truly, I think it's necessity is the mother of all inventions.
Yeah.
I think that's what it is.
Yeah.
And truthfully, that's how all of this came to be. And now, when you try new things that get out of your box of how you normally think of things, you start to see what's possible. And I've really been testing those limits now at this point in my life and in my career. For the longest time, we've always been told your ego's not your amigo. Be humble, chase people. And I was like, if we're all doing it that way and it's not really working, maybe we should try something different. So I started testing these different ways of doing things to where instead of saying I'm going to follow up with you or I'll keep following up with you, just as an example, because I am so busy and I really don't want people to waste my time and I really do want to quickly find out who's motivated and who's going to do something. I'll say something to the extent of, you know what, I really enjoyed meeting you, John, and it sounds like you and your wife have a lot to figure out. Unfortunately, right now, my time can only be spent with highly motivated individuals because there's so many people that need my help in the marketplace. I'm going to allow you the opportunity to call me back when you're one of those people.
Oh, I love that.
And you know what? It's so opposite of everything we've been taught. What I'm learning is people start to see you as like, oh shit.
Yeah, she's, top.
She's not going to chase me.
Yeah, if I want to work with her, it's almost like that scarcity of like brands, right? Because like bags look the same. You could have a Chanel bag versus like a bag at, a random store, but you create that kind of luxury experience where people want that bag and you're creating that in your business.
Yep.
You're not chasing. They know that if they want to work with you, they have to come to you.
Yep.
That's so hard for a lot of women to do. The more I evolve in business, I realize that there's two things that come up for women a lot. One is the people pleasing. That comes up a lot. Mm-hmm. And it's in their business. It shows up in their business. It shows up in their personal relationships. It shows up with their kids. So that people pleasing thing. The other is, it's kind of in alignment, but like they don't know how to say no to things. And the lack of being assertive or not inserting themselves into situations or into conversations or into deals. And they refuse to, I feel like we were taught that our worth as women is to be kind, to be polite to people, to be nurturing. And I think that there's power in that. But what's missing is being assertive and knowing that what your word matters and that I have something to say, and coming into those rooms with men and like speaking loudly and saying like, hey, I'm also a badass and I'm also just as good as you. So those two things keep coming up for women.
The way I see it is that when you give your time to people who don't deserve it, you're stealing time from your children and your family. And I don't let people steal my family's time anymore. So it's not a matter of, we're being mean or we're not people pleasing. It's who do you choose to please in your life? Are you choosing to please your family or a stranger?
Yeah. And it's like, at the end of the day, that seller, that client, or that person, we're trying so hard for them to like us and doing so much for them. And I agree with you. At the end of the day, what's more important? Is it just going over the top to try to please this person, showing up to the house every time they want you to show up, doing the open house?
Yeah.
But that's time that you could be spending with people in your life that do deserve.
Yeah. And I really don't understand why coaches have been teaching for so long to pop by. I'm not going to anyone's home I don't know. I'm the only person who cares for my children at this point in time. I'm not risking my life. And I don't think any person really should risk their life to meet a stranger.
Especially for money. But it's, in retrospect, we've taken a lot of time to build our skills, to build our confidence. So it's easy for us to say now, but there was a point in the beginning of my career where I felt if I just get in front of them and if they see me and they like me, I'm going to get the business. Now, years and years have passed, I've realized, just like you, I get a lot more done when I'm assertive, and I close more deals when I'm assertive, and when I'm able to tell them, hey, if we get together and we talk, are you open to hiring me, to the possibility of hiring me? I always ask that question, but there was internally a resistance for a really long time around that question because I wanted to be nice, and that felt like not a nice thing.
You're sharing this vulnerably and open because people look at you and think you have absolutely no problem with that. And they never see, they see themselves as never being able to do that. So thank you for sharing that.
Yeah.
Because we've all gone through it. It's not unique to you.
We all had that. For me, it was, I pride myself in caring for people. I love people. I think that's why this career is in alignment with who I am. I love people. I love connecting with people. And it felt like if I asked that question about what I wanted, I don't know, I wasn't serving them, I was too much, I was too much pressure, right? It wasn't in alignment with who I felt I was in my identity.
I think it's just so wild because when you make an appointment to go to your dentist to get your teeth filled, he's not popping by, right? So you're a professional who's gone to school, who has invested money in your skills, who has created great results for other people. Why should you show up to something where you don't know you're getting the job? No other professional does that. I don't understand why realtors do it.
I think it's because the real estate industry as a whole, there's this kind of like bad name around it. There's too many realtors and they're not good. And I think as an agent, a lot of times when you're newer, you internalize a lot of those negative beliefs that are out there. And you don't see your worth as a professional. So it's because there's a low barrier to entry to being a real estate professional. For a lot of people, they hear that real estate agents are not good. Real estate agents start to believe that. So then you feel like, how can I be, go above board to not be that person?
It's by getting in her group and learning skills that can actually serve them. I don't know if your audience is fully aware of what you do, but if you have a deal you're working on in any market and you're like, I don't know how to help this seller, 9.99% of the time, 99.99% of the time, Adelis will have a solution to that problem. So why should someone get your time unless they're fully qualified at this point?
Now, I'm at a point of my career where obviously I do things virtually. So I've gotten really good at connecting with people. So that those skills that are naturally within me, which like I care for people, I like connecting with people, I like understanding.
But they have to earn that.
Yeah. But I'm really mindful too of my time. So I'm going to have a conversation with a seller. I'm going to figure out how to help them because I'm highly skilled. But then on that phone call, we're going to move on to the next step. I'm not meeting with them because we could do everything over the phone. I don't need to go drive to your house, spend an hour, then drive back. So then that's just not how
it's not an effective use of your time.
And if you're a professional and you know exactly what you're doing and you know how to serve the person, you could be efficient with it.
Yes. And let me ask you this question, because you mentioned earlier about how long it took to get the skills to be there, right?
Mm-hmm.
So when you're driving to each one of these appointments, how many can you do in one day?
Not a lot.
Maybe two?
In Miami traffic?
Yeah.
Oh,
Like
maybe
one,
one
maybe
and a
two.
half.
Yeah.
You drive there and then you're stuck in traffic for 3 hours. So 1.5 maybe if you're lucky.
So if you're making calls and you're able to set up 4-6 Zoom presentations in one day, aren't your skills going to naturally get better faster because you have more at bats?
Absolutely. No, the Zoom listing presentations, being able to get contracts signed over the phone, like that, I believe is the agent of the future. If they can master that process and truly understand how to serve people, how to problem solve, and how to be mindful of their time too, they can do more deals and serve more people at a high level.
Yes.
Because if all you can do is 2 appointments a day or 1.5 because with traffic, and Dallas traffic, girl, I was in Dallas traffic. Dallas traffic is insane.
And it's huge. Dallas is huge. Actually, our MLS is a 300-mile radius. And, you could be taking 2 days to get through all of it.
Yeah,
It's a long time.
Dallas is like Florida. I was stuck in the traffic. I almost missed my flight last time we were in because we were having such a good time.
Farrah's here too.
Yeah, we were having such a good time. I almost missed my flight. So yeah, I think the more skilled you get, the more you value yourself as a person, the more you value your time, then you have family and responsibilities. So it's almost like for women that are listening to us and they think we're like, I don't know, these aliens because we're really good at closing and, we're really confident and we're really assertive. We have just had to become who we are because we are passionate about what we want, but we also care about our personal life and the people, and we want to create that balance. And that balance doesn't come easy. Balance comes when you get better. You have to get better at your business, your time management, and you have to get better about prioritizing and saying no to a lot of things. So it's like this balance is something that you have to work on consistently every single day, every single week, at least for me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
100%.
Because I refuse to, let go of one thing. I want to do both, and I want to do both really well.
And I think that's the most important. Like, real estate is not going to take over my life. Transactions are not going to be the center of my day. I refuse. So this is really how I've been able to create an effective business that does not have a lot of overhead. It doesn't take a lot of investment on, my behalf to get it started. And I can make significant amount of money in a short period of time. Do you want to know what my schedule's like?
Tell me. No, your schedule is insane.
They're going to cancel me when they hear my schedule.
Barely works, makes $500,000 every single year. So
I like, my kids are still, they're freshmen in high school, so they're not driving yet. And that time in the car is really important because that's the only time they really talk to you at this age. So I love taking them to school. So I drop them off between 8:30 and 9. I get on the phones for 2 hours. I usually prospect like 9 to 11 or 9:30 to 11:30. I go to the gym for 2 hours because,
Girls gotta look good.
and at this age, it takes 2 hours. At her age, I could take 1 hour. And then in the afternoon, I do 2 hours of appointments, and I go pick up my kids from school, or I go watch their softball games or their golf tournaments. And I'm also single, so I need to have time for dating. And I'm also like a woman who has friends and my own interests and the things that fulfill me as a person that I don't want to give up on just because I have deals or transactions.
Yeah.
So like people are often like, oh, you must get up at 5 a.m. Nope, I wake up at 7 a.m., y'all.
The 5 a.m. thing.
I work technically 4 hours a day.
And you crush it and you make more money than honestly a lot of people. That's a lot of money to make. And to be a successful mom and to be fully present in your kid's life and to be successful in your business and to still take care of yourself too and not sacrifice the other areas. It sounds easy, but it's only easy now because you've taken the time to really
build
develop into that. Yeah.
And also I would say the courage to do things that people told me I shouldn't do, or, you're not good enough to do that, or you're not ready for that, or that's not how it's done. We don't do things that way. I was like, you know what? Women have been figuring things out for years. We're going to figure out something that works better for us.
Yeah. And be resourceful.
Yeah.
You're amazing.
Thank you. So if y'all want to get involved with us,
coach to coach. She is the listing queen and the expired queen. We help a lot of people build those two different skill sets. And nothing. We're just passionate about what we do. We're passionate about life. We're passionate about empowering women. So yeah, follow us, stay in contact. Where can people find you?
So I do have the Closers Club. If you guys want to check it out, it's probably the best place to get started because it's our community where people make live phone calls every day. You can hear people like Adelis, like myself, just live talking to sellers. And then if you feel like you maybe need a little bit more enrichment or you wanted to learn about when you do get a deal that could be creative, Adelis has her community, which we collaborate together, and we are happy to work with you so that you can be a whole agent. You've always been kind to me. You've always, given, sometimes when older women can be afraid of younger women. I'm going to talk about something very real because they always think like, oh, she's coming from my spot. And it's like a scarcity mindset. So if you're a woman like my age and you meet a younger gal like this, instead of not giving them the space, think about what can we do better together? What can I learn from her? What can her energy do to reinvigorate you? And then if you're a younger gal and you're looking for, a partner who maybe has gaps for your blind spots and that really believes in you, look for someone who is already doing what you want to do, or maybe someone that you could help to do it better, like Adelis has helped me. You both can really work together and try to not do what society tells you to do, right? Society tells you you're not supposed to get along or you're supposed to be battling queens. There's room for everyone.